But the fact that she chose to walk away and she must pay for choosing to walk away, which is which? Those who always ask, why didn't she leave? Well, she left, but she still got stabbed 20 times. What do you have to say about her? Since you always have something to say to defend the perpetrator. She left, but she's still getting a stabbing. At this point, I feel like people just get away with things because they know that, our country, who can do what to me? Like literally everybody's a spoiled brat in this country. They can get away with anything. And we are tired, guys. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Perseverance Maremini, also known as Madam Speaker, also known as the CEO of Self-Love. If you're joining in for the first time, welcome to the family of healing, self-love and motivation. And if you're returning, thank you so much for the continuous love and support that you are showing me. Today, I am so demoralized, you guys. I have not even slept much. As you can see, my eyes, I am not looking good whatsoever. And that is because just yesterday we were marching. The 11th of November 2023, we're marching to the EPCSA head office in Braamfontein in Johannesburg, saying justice for the First Lady of the Church who passed away and who succumbed to a whole lot of gender-based violence, a whole lot of abuse in the hands of a reverend husband before her passing, and the church turned a blind eye. So we're handing over the memorandum. And what is so demoralizing for me right now, as I'm seated here, defeated and disarmed, is the fact that while we were busy there marching and saying justice for Mahotso, there's somebody else who was being stabbed multiple times by a man. So I got a lot of tags while I was still at the march regarding this issue of a guy by the name of Ntembeko Mialo, who stabbed his wife 20 times. Yeah, 20 times. And the reason why he stabbed this woman, you guys, you will not believe it. So it is alleged that this woman found out that this guy raped somebody, and she left him for that. And after she left him for that, she moved on and she was seeing somebody else, or she went on a date with somebody else, and this man found out, and that's when he started attacking her when he came to her room. These are students. The woman is a student at the Cape Peninsula University of Technology, and the man is a student at the University of the Western Cape. So you can imagine all of that trauma. Like, I'm trying to imagine myself in my rest era, seeing somebody stabbing their wife like that. And you guys, at this point, I don't even know what to say, because during the issue of Mahotso, when we're making a lot of noise about it, I'm still going to post a video about the march and everything. A lot of people were coming forth saying, why didn't she leave? Why didn't she leave? And the pandemic of gender-based violence is beyond people leaving at this point, because this woman saw the need to leave this man because he is a rapist. Then she gets to be brutally attacked like that. Okay, so I'm gonna read a statement that I saw on social media. I think this was shared in a group, like in a WhatsApp group. And it reads as follows. This is yesterday, right, guys? While we are busy doing, bear in mind, while we are busy doing this, somebody was busy getting stabbed. This that I'm going to read to you looks like something that comes from like a WhatsApp group, but I got this on Twitter. So it reads as follows. I went to go see the victim. The victim is awake. She's getting operated tomorrow, which is today, the 12th of November 2023. She was stabbed 20 times. They'll transfer her to Tigerbed. This is because her husband allegedly raped someone and she no longer wanted to be with him. She had then went on a date with a different guy, which angered the abusive man, who came to her rest to ask why she didn't tell him that she's back in her room, which is when he stabbed her 20 times. She will call again either today or the nurses. Okay, yeah, so that's just the WhatsApp group where this thing is being shared, where information is just being circulated about the whereabouts of the victim and what needs to be done. What gets me so angry is the fact that every time when there's a victim of gender-based violence who eventually passes away, people always ask, and especially women, We are the first people to ask, why didn't she leave? Because we always want to make excuses for the culprit. We always ask why the victim didn't leave without actually dealing with the culprit and addressing the culprit and holding them accountable. So at this point, do you now see that there's not even a need to be asking the victim why they left or stayed? Because this young lady here was stabbed and she had left this relationship. Meaning that had she stayed, nobody knows whether she was being abused in the relationship before or this was the first time that something like this was happening to her. You know, I got so sickened when I look at the guy's profile on Facebook because I was trying to check around to see him, to see what kind of animal are we dealing with here. Like literally, he even has those stickers that say no to gender-based violence, no excuse to gender-based violence. And then he goes and stabs his woman 20 times. Maybe he's not even his woman anymore because she didn't even want to be with him anymore. But he felt like literally this thing of men wanting to own women so much that they feel like they can do whatever it is that they want with them, good or bad. It is crazy, out of this world. It has to come to an end. Because you see, in as much as we can say that when it's like the beautiful things where you feel like as a man you own your woman, so you're gonna take care of her, it is just as bad as a man who abuses and stabs his wife because he owns her. Like you own, if you want to own somebody, you own them in the good and in the bad. You get what I mean? Like this thing of ownership of women, especially when you have married somebody and you feel like you own them because you married them. It's all nice and all rosy when you are being owned and nice things are being done for you. Until you get to a point where bad things now have to be done to you because you are being owned by this person. Like this is so sad that I don't even know what to say about it. Like honestly speaking, I usually have like a whole lot of things to say about things like this and I'm always loud. But at this point, I've not even rested from the march that we just had saying justice for Mahoto. And while we're busy saying justice for Mahoto, somebody else is getting stabbed. At this point, I don't even know which area should we be focusing on. What should we as women be covering? Why should we as women be the ones who are always saying justice, this and that? Like, why do we have to go through this thing? Because literally, there has to be some sort of change. There's nothing that makes me angry more than other women saying, you must leave. You must leave. Choose yourself. Well, she left. She chose herself. But look at her now. Thank God she's still alive. So, but then I just want to say a big shout out to the guys who tried to stop this man, because had they not come closer, he would have killed her. Like, look at these people who were just here trying to stop this person. And I could imagine how they felt, fearing for their own lives that he could have left her and came for them with the knife, but having to stick around even when they see that life is at risk here. Big ups to them. Just look at this video for me quickly. Imagine being this woman on the floor, knowing that your fate is dependent on that man who is distracting your husband from killing you. Literally, your life is in the hands of the men who are distracting your husband from stabbing you even more than he has already stabbed you. You are begging for your life, but not from your husband because he already wants you dead, but from the men who are distracting him not to kill you. Now, there's another video that I saw on Twitter where this man was being beaten by the community. I'd like to believe that if that was at rest, then that means the students ganged up against him and they started beating him up. And I heard other people shouting in the background that don't kill him. The police must come and find him. And it is alleged that right now as we speak, the guy is in police custody. But how many people have to be abused in the hands of men before we can say enough is enough? Because, you know, I'm so demoralized. I don't want to lie to you. I saw a poster, you know, while we were busy there with the marches at the EPCSA, I saw a poster where the EPCSA is now making noise about 16 days of activism. When 16 days of activism against gender-based violence starts, everybody wants to be hands on decks and everybody wants to be seen that they're doing something. But are they really doing something, or is it just for a front? Because even this guy, look at him. He looks like somebody who is an activist for gender-based violence. But then what does he turn around and do? Can we accept that relationships don't work out anymore? Like, what kind of a sick animal is this one? What kind of sick animal is this one? Like, literally, if somebody finds out that you are a rapist and they decide to leave you, why can't you leave them alone? It really goes to show that this person has been staying with a monster for the longest time. God knows how many times she was abused. Maybe she was harboring it in the past. But the fact that she chose to walk away, and she must pay for choosing to walk away, which is which? Which is which? At this point, those who always ask, why didn't she leave? Well, she left, but she still got stabbed 20 times. What do you have to say about her? Since you always have something to say to defend the perpetrator. She left, but she's still getting a stabbing. Isn't it enough right now at this point? Isn't it enough? Isn't it enough to a point where, like, guys, at this point, a life for a life. I feel like our country is too lenient right now. People get away with things because they know, like, South Africa, our beautiful land, I can just walk. That's why GBV is a pandemic in our country. That is why South Africa is one of the countries which are up there on the top of the list of this crisis of gender-based violence. Because our justice system always fails the victims. We are too lenient. They know that when they get arrested, they're just going to go to prison, get an education, get a free meal, and this and that. Try this in Botswana. You will not live to see another daylight after this type of brutality. Like, our country is way too lenient, honestly speaking. I feel like people just get away with things because they know that, our country, who can do what to me? Like, literally everybody's a spoiled brat in this country. They can get away with anything. And we are tired, guys. Like, right now, as you see, I am physically tired. I am physically tired from the march. Emotionally, what about everybody who, like, literally, it can't be that every single day there has to be somebody next to you, somebody close to you, somebody on your timeline who is being abused, and you think that won't take its toll on our emotional well-being. It is not okay. And it has to stop. Like, I don't even know what to say at this point. I don't even know what to say. But enough is enough. Enough is enough. With that being said, thank you so much for joining in. I'll see you on the next upload. If there's any developments regarding this story, I'll be sure to share with you guys. I love you. God bless you.